First team All-ACC last year was Gracie Johnson, who sent that ball back in play. Searzant saving it behind the tower of our up official. Strong attack that time from Lizzie Fleming and the Blue Devils, their first lead. Dug out by Greta Schlichter, and a strong attack that time from Harris Waddy. But the Blue Devils ultimately responding, and this time Charlene Antonio gets herself on the board. Charlene Antonio, 10 kills Friday night here at home against the Tar Heels. Worthington setting it that time for Fleming. Fleming again, deflected in front, and Lizzie Fleming. Serve from Antonio, dug out by Johnson. Strong attack that time, it was Jess Robinson.
And was a Conference Coach of the Year just a few years ago, Drew.
Schlichter setting for Antonio, redirected in front by a pair of Blue Devils, and then that time, a little bit of miscommunication there between Greta Schlichter and Layla Smith. One that for the Orange they will feel is much needed. Service from Burt, clipping the top of the net. Strong attack that time. It's Lizzie Fleming.
Catches Syracuse off guard every single time.
Liedermuller setting it there for Layla Smith. The ricochet off of Madison Bryant. It's been 2 timeouts, and the Blue Devils have taken 2 points since the first one. Antonio going cross court. Strong attack there for Richardson, kept afloat, and now Schlichter just shoveling it over. Off the hand of Antonio was Robinson down in front. The Orange now with the pressure on their backs out of the timeout from Coach Nagel. Harris Waddy sneaking it inside the back line. Charlene Antonio to serve, 1 kill here this afternoon, leading the team this season with 148. Harris Waddy setting for Searzant, sneaking it in there, cross-court action, dropping it in front of Worthington. Carrie Keefe continuing to serve. Her mother, Kristen, played at Stanford and was a member of the 1996 Olympic volleyball team. So volleyball running in the Keefe family. Burt kept it alive there for the Orange. Worthington setting for Robinson off the hand of Antonio, and Duke inching 1 step closer to taking set number 1. So it keeps the Orange in this set for a little while longer. Worthington setting it for Keefe. Searzant over to Layla Smith, takes a deflection, and it drops in. Harris Waddy continuing to serve for the Orange. Dug out by Gracie Johnson. Richardson's attack blocked by Smith. Richardson again. Antonio setting for Schlichter off the top of the net, kept afloat there by Keefe. Another strong block from Layla Smith, continuing to make her presence known. Off of Schlichter that time, and Harris Waddy tried to rescue that ball, but ultimately running out of room.
Really coming alive, blocking up front.
Liedermuller setting for Antonio, just trying to finesse that attack. And now Gracie Johnson thought she had finished off the set, but instead the Orange keep it afloat. Bryant setting for Johnson one more time. Carries outside the line. The Orange live to fight another day. The Orange hanging on for dear life in set number 1. Worthington over to Johnson. And Gracie Johnson getting a deflection. Service from Burt. Worthington again setting for Fleming. Deflected that time, and Lizzie Fleming rather. Liedermuller with the serve. Shallow dig there from Bryant. Almost causing more problems for the Blue Devils. And Charlene Antonio sneaking that past the diving Gracie Johnson. And Tyler, you can start to sense now the pressure mounting here for the Orange. As Schlichter tried to pull away from that, recognized it was going to carry over the line, but
on what they did so well Friday, and it hasn't happened yet.
Liedermuller setting for Charlene Antonio. Worthington over to Johnson. Syracuse keeping it afloat. And the Orange running out of hits there. Melina Brooking, the sophomore from Laurel, Maryland. She was a two-sport athlete in high school, also running track. That shot deflecting off the face of Liedermuller.
No longer on the team, but was able to handle both last year, volleyball and track and field.
McCabe unable to coach Nagel. Worthington being able to adapt and handle some adversity. Liedermuller setting for Syracuse. Past an outstretched Madison Bryant. Serve from Bryant. Diving dig there from Schlichter. And it's over the top. Who else but Layla Smith? Setter Worthington to serve now for the Blue Devils. Syracuse setting for Raina Hughes. The Orange would love to get Raina Hughes more involved. Harris Waddy's attack blocked. And it's Antonio from the left side. Worthington to Fleming, and Lizzie Fleming picking up right where she left off. Trail by 7 rather, 18-11. Worthington to Keefe, and Carrie Keefe with a strong left-handed attack there for the Blue Devils.
But still, you want to earn them. You want to figure them out on your own.
And Carrie Keefe once again timing that jump to perfection. Keefe service cross court. Strong attack there from McCabe. Deflecting down in front, it was Riley Cadle. Harris Waddy now serving for the Orange. Richardson attack left side. It gets a pair of deflections, and the Blue Devils one step closer to victory in set 2. Richardson continuing to serve. McCabe struggled to receive, ultimately bailed out by Liedermuller. And the Orange coming to each other's rescue that time. Worthington sets for Cadle, cross court once again, and Riley Cadle getting involved. Syracuse serve, dug out by Bryant. Cadle again trying to go cross court, deflected in the process. Worthington just shovels it over, and Lizzie Fleming and Gracie Johnson. Syracuse setting for McCabe. Worthington now to Keefe, deflected off the top of the net, kept afloat. And Burt just has to send that one over the net. The Orange looking to play some strong defense, but Lizzie Fleming tucks that one in. And the Blue Devils claim set 2, 25-16. Bryant responding there, digging that one out cleanly. As the attack from Keefe ricochets off the antenna. Left-handed serve from Keefe. Liedermuller setting for Harris Waddy. Schlichter going up, trying to finesse over the top. And it's Worthington to Cadle off the hands of Burt.
Exactly, and she's a go-to player for the Blue Devils. It's not like there's a few players that can set up assists. It's Worthington and pretty much nobody else, so you always know who to look to when you're trying to make a play on Duke.
Getting enough on it to drop it inside the line. Brooking over to Schlichter. Worthington, Cadle. Harris Waddy got a touch on it, but ultimately drops.
But here she's showing that she can play a few different types of ways.
Having a more prominent role, partially due to injuries, but also due to a different system under Coach Ganesharatnam, as the Blue Devils answer with the point right back. A little bit of confusion there. Richardson's serve, unable to be received by Brooking. Thought that ball was going to have a little bit more life to it, but
a little bit earlier than probably any of us expected to.
McCabe again going cross court, off the hands of Richardson. Millie Meir and Gazi Elo, two more getting involved. Burt Over to Schlichter, cross-courting. Great, Schlichter tucks that one in the front corner. But Duke is going deeper into its bench. Searzant over to Smith. Bryant the libero, Atkinson cross-court. Off the hands of Burt, diving effort from Schlichter, but instead it's the attack from Atkinson on her way in. As Schlichter going to receive an error there on that reception for the Blue Devils. Searzant to Raina Hughes, off of Bryant, kept afloat by Richardson, and Madison Bryant, a Hail Mary attempt to shovel it over. Tyler, it did in fact go over, but it hit the ceiling in the process. And Gracie Johnson serving again. Receiving error on Charlene Antonio. Serve from Leader Muller, dug out by Bryant. Worthington, Stavronidis getting a deflection. Bryant serve, dug out by Schlichter. Antonio trying to go cross court, blocked by a pair of Blue Devils. And the miscommunication, Burt, Leader Muller.
Miami can beat us, but we're not going to beat ourselves.
Antonio cross court, diving dig there from Bryant. And Carrie Keefe back in the match, a strong attack off the hands of Alyssa Burt. The crowd here in the women's building silenced. Antonio deflected, falls. Duke claiming the third set, 25-9, sweeping the orange